And to all that have come in from around the sim world, we say hello and welcome, as the round of 12 is now the round of 8. You win today, you head to Charlotte with a shot at a championship, but you must be in the Elite 8. We start with the Tennessee swing to open up the playoffs. Now it's the West Coast swing before we crown a champion in a couple weeks' time at Charlotte Motor Speedway. For drivers like Bailey Turner, Michael Curran, Adam Cabot, Connor Horn, James Scioli, John Hall, Jake Nichols, and Seth Knoll, Las Vegas is going to be about gambling and rolling the dice to see if they can come out on top. Let's bring it to our studios in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Sleppy. And to all that have tuned on in, hello, welcome, happy Monday evening as we get ready to ride. Hunter, 140 laps for this racetrack that is a cookie cutter-esque speedway, 20 degrees of banking in the corners, 9 degrees on the straights, and the intermediates have been the best shows all year long. Do you think that continues?
Absolutely. It's the cream of the crop when it comes to racing in the area, and not even just that, in real life as well for NASCAR. But as far as tonight, I'm really looking forward to this. You mentioned that we went from 12 down to 8 drivers, those that are already on the outside looking in, just from the way the points stand up and who's got bonus points here, who doesn't. Connor Horn, Adam Cabot, Michael Curran, and Bailey Turner already on the outside looking in. And looking through the playoff grid that we had when we went from 12 to 8, we had 6 new playoff drivers that haven't made the playoffs at all, or this is their first season and they made the playoffs. All 4 drivers who were eliminated last week: Dylan Ault, Peyton Howell, Jonathan Evans, Brandon Bowie. It was all their first time in the playoffs. Gives a little different experience whenever you just have to make what you can in 2 races time. John Hall and Bailey Turner are the only rookies that have, well, I shouldn't say, well, they are rookies, but only drivers that are new to the playoffs that have made it to the next round. Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, they both have a common theme with Las Vegas. They like to win. Seth Knoll has a win here dating back to Season 4, and Jake Nichols won here a couple times in Seasons 2 and 3. Jake Matheson won back in Season 5. That was our last trip here, and he won from the pole. And our last 2 trips, Season 4 and Season 5, we had overtime finishes. So look for a, well, I shouldn't say a late yellow. Actually, no, sorry. I spread some misinformation. Season 4 did not have an overtime finish. Season 5 did. We usually don't get a lot of yellows, only 3 for Las Vegas, but if you're starting inside the first 4 rows, you got a pretty good shot at winning.
All right, going to be fun to see. Also very grateful for Connor Lyons for dropping down the VIP pass as we get ready to rock and roll. Less than 7 minutes remaining, and things are interesting already. Cabot, Nichols, and Hall, that is the top 3 currently. They sit 1, 2, 3. Also playoff drivers. John Hall has had a heck of a year. First year in the Area Cup Series. He got that breakout win at Homestead, and then since then, it's been very consistent. He's going to be my one to watch tonight, honestly. I think that's where it's going to go ahead and just stay for the time being. But we kind of look at Vegas as not just an opportunity. It's not 3 races like the playoffs are for the NASCAR Cup Series. It's 2. And we saw what happens when one bad race could impact the next. With who? None other than Dylan Ault. What happened at Bristol? Wrecked out. See ya. Done. Went into Nashville. Towards the end of the race, he was in a must-win situation. Caution flies. He does not uncheck the tires. He went to take tires on pit road. Others did not. Try to drive through the field and was 1 spot short. Realistically, the greatest driver this year misses the round of 8. So what's next to come? Not exactly sure, but you also have to look at the fact that Kwame Scott swept Tennessee, and he wasn't a playoff driver. Do we continue to see non-playoff drivers rise to the top? Hunter, your opinions?
If he's in the field, yeah, there's a pretty good chance of that, but looking through our 1.5 miles on the season so far, I mean, John Hall got a win at Homestead to get himself into the playoffs, and then there were a couple more. Seth Knoll won, Jake Matheson won, so we've had different winners for each 1.5-mile race. I think we see a different trend, though, where Kwame Scott could go to victory lane, but I think we get a different winner, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Jake Nichols will be my pick to win. I'll tell you why. He's got 2 wins to his name in 4 starts. He's finished inside the top 5 in all 4 starts. His average finish is second. That's how good he is here, and that's how confident I am in laying in the foundation that he will win tonight and clinch himself a championship spot in Charlotte.
Want to say hello to everyone that has joined on in. Eric W, Mikey, also a great message here. I will not be streaming the 13th. I might be streaming this Friday. That is something I am considering. Will not be streaming tomorrow. A lot of things to work on, e-ticket wise, a lot of things to work on in person wise. We'll be calling the biggest pro late model event of the year in just over a week's time. That will be next Wednesday at Owasso Speedway for the Masters of the Pros 200. You guys can watch it live on Racing America and or Track TV. But tonight is all about area and what we have to offer. This is going to be big because after this week, there's an off week, right? There's one more off week, and then we have Auto Club. So these drivers, with whatever they finish here at Las Vegas, have to sit and wait until what could possibly be coming next.
Yeah, Auto Club, I'm really looking forward to. Not that I'm not looking forward to Vegas. Vegas is great. But Auto Club, that's where we have a lot of carnage that happens. At least in seasons 3 and season 5, that's when the carnage unfolds. And that was also the last time we went to that track. So both races in this round haven't been here since season 5. Still some unknowns to look through. Auto Club's going to be great, but Las Vegas is going to be great too.
All right, let's go ahead and do our picks. Hunter, who do you got winning this race, and who's an underdog you want to watch out for?
I went on the limb, went with Jake Nichols early going. If we have to pick with a different driver, I'm going to go with one that's not in the playoffs. I'm not sure if he's here tonight. Actually, no, I'm not going to go on that far of a limb. I'll go with someone different. I'll go with Reese Schaefer.
All right, you know what? I'm going to start with the underdog first. I think Brandon Bowie's still an underdog to me. I understand he made the playoffs, but currently 14th. I kind of like the stride he had in the playoffs and what he was able to do. Not a playoff driver now. Keep an eye on Brandon Bowie. He's going to be fun to go ahead and see. Also is racing an e-ticket in times past. I believe this is the 2023 NWB 400. I'm going to stick with John Hall. I got to stick to my gun here. He's fastest in practice currently. He may go fastest in qualifying. We don't know yet. In about 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll find out. And then you look at what's kind of been going on. John Hall on the intermediates knows how to just get it done. He knows how to cook. He knows how to clean. He knows how to do everything. Whatever it takes. Vegas, 140 laps. I mean, we're going to see multi-groove racing. This track has been rescanned. It hasn't been used in NR Night in America. In the rescan version, only has been used in the version that you all have known from times past. So, gonna be a lot of fun to see how this goes. I got John Hall still getting it done. Hunter Sleppy, final comments.
I'm just looking forward to a great event. I think it's gonna mainly consist of playoff guys and a few more things to note. Connor Horn, not really. I'm looking at Auto Club. Here we go. Not really fond with Las Vegas. His best finish was 28th in his 2 starts here. Same thing with Michael Curran. Average finish is 16th. Only 1 top 5. That was back in season 4. Skyly is also one to keep an eye out for. 3 top 5s and 4 starts. Average finish 10th. His best finish came up a runner-up spot in season 2.
John Bradley dropping down the 1 gifted membership. Very grateful for that. You know, we're about to get going. Let's see if we can talk to a driver. I'm going to bring in Adam Cabot. Quickly in, quickly out. Cabot, second quickest in practice. Less than a minute remaining until you qualify. What are you thinking about?
Thinking about track position, thinking about the tires. There's still a lot of new. I know I said the same thing last week or the week before, but it's I feel like still just a big learning process for all of us and how the track is affected by weather, how the tires are affected by weather. But yeah, I mean, obviously with a chance to get into the Final 4, only 5 points out, just want to put together a solid day and keep an eye on the guys who are around me who I need to beat.
All right, going to be fun to see. Hall's quick, Nichols is quick. One bad race, it can make a big difference from making it, not making it, being put in a must-win situation. Is the energy going to be high at Las Vegas for you?
For me, absolutely. You know, I'm putting in a little bit of extra practice, you know, trying to make sure that I'm prepared for these last few races, try to go hard and make the Final 4 and try to pull off an upset here.
All right. What do you want to see these viewers watching back at home?
I hope we can win for a good race. A lot of new for us, a lot of new for you. So hopefully we put on some multi-group racing.
Let's go ahead and see it. Less than 5 seconds remaining, and we are trackside from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching the Area Cup Series, one event at a time, one race at a time. There's one more round following Auto Club, and that's the championship race, race 17. 16 will be in 2 weeks. Welcome to round 15 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We see a nice overhead aerial view. I love the update that they've done with this track. Everything that has been updated on the iRacing side looks great. A lot of rescanned racetracks, a lot of great looking next gens, all planning to take the grid in just a matter of moments. Joining in, Josh Cottle, Kwame Scott. Can Scott go 3 for 3 in the playoffs and really try to make something work? Just time will tell as the first drivers work onto the racetrack. That's Barrett Polimas in 79, Ed Robertson there in 64. Adam Cabot, no moving just yet. Jonathan Evans gets on the gas. Connor Horn has yet to go ahead and put it in gear. Same with Grant. Travis Beckner is down the backstretch in the Hendry County Motorsports Park Chevrolet. Top end at turns 3 and 4. All riding on something great. Four minutes remaining. Chevrolet top of the board. That was with John Hall. Beckner sideways. He'll keep it off the retaining walls, but the lap time that he won has now gone away. Jonathan Evans. Gonna see what he can get. Garrett Grant, Connor Horn. Horn has been smart. Down to the inside, Seth Berger, Lee Norton. Getting ready to go ahead and get on the throttle, Max Service. 3 minutes remaining. Ten drivers have put down a time. Justin Anasogak has not been one of them. There's Connor Horn in 67, waiting off the end of pit road. And now we'll go ahead and get it fired in gear. Seth Berger, Josh Cottle. Berger moving, Ryan Swan. Jake Nichols, no time out of him. Max Service, Justin Anasogak, he's on the clock. So Garrett Grant climbs top of the board with Polimas, Cabot, and others. Third, Kurhan, Punkari. Punkari now down to 6. No time just yet out of John Hall, waiting to the final moments. And Hall is now on the throttle. Hayden Swank. Cottle in 13. And there's Berger sitting P5. Grant Norton, top 2. Jake Nichols on the clock. Here's John Hall. We'll watch on with him. On the pedal, 185. Gets to the line. Is it P1? It's P2. Hall down by 9 as Jake Nichols fights for a lap of a 29.354. And it's a 29.444 there for John Hall. Blaze McKinney, Patrick Moose, and Kwame Scott keep it on the 36. Just easing back into the throttle. Gets to the line, Kwame Scott. Where does he end up? They're giving him a 29.507. But will the lap be invalidated? I think that's what they're showing. Patrick Moose, he'll get to the line. Moose to the line. They gave him a time, P2. So Moose goes to second, Hall back to third, and Jake Nichols will be leading us to green here at Las Vegas. Time has come and time has expired. To the ones watching back at home, we say hello and welcome as the Area Cup Series is here. From Vegas, someone's going to roll the dice, and we're going to figure out who that is. Let's go ahead and chat in with some drivers before we go green. Hunter, it's been already an interesting one with qualifying. Who do we chat with and why is it possibly going to go ahead and be, I think we're going to go Jake Nichols. Should we go Jake Nichols? I think so.
Might as well. It is my pick to win.
Nichols, John Ramos, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got time right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're starting fifth if I'm not mistaken. How do you feel about it?
We're on the pole.
Check that, you're on the pole. I'm going off of the overlays on the left side of my screen. You're on the pole. You got John Hall to knock off. How confident are you in possibly going to victory lane today?
It's going to be interesting. The setup last week, it was hard to really tell, and same with Bristol with the updates to this car, how we're going to manage a race because the setup was so loose last week. Tonight being a little tight, I think you're going to see a lot of aero effects at play with dirty air and then also with getting someone loose from behind. So hopefully we can just set sail from the green and just lead laps. This is my first area pole this season in all 3 series. So
that's right.
I'm pretty happy about that, you know, save it up for the right time. But hopefully we can just take care of it and get to the end and get some good points tonight.
All right, let's see how this all goes. 3 minutes remaining in this warm-up session. Seth Knoll and others, is there like a little note sharing here? 140 laps. Tire wear going to mean anything?
It could. I don't know. We did a run together in practice, all the solar flare guys, and even though the tire wear was kind of bad in terms of wearing tight, it was more of just the aero effects that kind of affected us. Like, you're really fighting for clean air, especially as the run goes on, and I think that's going to be more important than maybe tire wear compared to other people's sake. But hopefully I don't need to worry about dirty air and I can just focus out the windshield and maybe do a little mirror driving, but hopefully we can just stay out front and win tonight in our Elite Entertainment Toyota Camry.
All right, good to know. 2 minutes, 30-something odd seconds left before we get ready to roll. Viewers back at home, all waiting to see if Solar Flare can find a way back to victory lane. That's Jake Nichols. Let's continue to chime on in. Looking, wondering, Connor Horn. I would say Connor Horn's more of an underdog story in the Elite 8. Horn, John Ramos, got a copy?
Yep.
You snuck in. Consistency has been key. Now, how do you make it to the championship round?
Probably have to get top 5 in both races at the very least. My last win was at Auto Club, so I feel like I have a good shot there. But I'm usually fast here. Just thought I'd have more grip in qualifying than I did. Didn't get a lap in. The passing's going to be tough, but I think I'll be able to get through at least to the top 15, top 20 before the first pit stop, whether it goes green or yellow. So just hoping to get into the top 5 eventually. There's really 3 or 4 main guys I need to beat, like the 7 and 73, and I think the 03 in there as well are the main guys. And I at least have to try to outrace, and you got guys behind me as well that can win at any moment. So just really need to run up at the front. Consistency's great if it's top 10, but I need to get top 3, top 5s to win. So that's what's going to take.
All right, well, good luck. Less than a couple seconds remaining. We're going to get ready to go green. Connor Horn, let's see what you got.
You will.
And that is one of the 609 drivers. Hunter Sluppy, final comments.
This is going to be great. And Kwame Scott, I believe he didn't get a time down. So if he's going to have to win, he'll have to do the last to first challenge, theoretically. But that's just going to make for a more entertaining product.
Yeah, they got him right now as 28th. I don't think a couple other drivers took a time as well. But it's interesting because he took a time, but it was almost invalidated in a way. I mean, we saw the 29.5, so either he scrubbed the wall or iRacing just said, no, that time's not going to go ahead and be a valid move for them. We've seen it from the back to the front before. We've seen some moments that you just did not think would happen. And now we get to see who's going to do what. Let's go ahead and look at your starting lineup for today's race at Las Vegas. Presented by Central Mobile Homes, Inc. Jake Nichols and Patrick Moose are on the front row, leading you to green. Row number 2, John Hall and Garrett Grant. Hall says 1 win and we're in. Row 3, Lee Noren will go to the rear, but Seth Knoll would have been starting alongside him. Row number 4, Justin Anasogak and Barrett Polimis. Polimis from Sim to Reality. Row number 5, Adam Cabot and Blaze McKinney. McKinney boot scoot to the back. Row 6, Tyler Nichols at Seth Berger. Berger in 77. Row 7, Philip Kroner is alongside Max Service. In row number 8, Michael Curhan brings alongside Bryce Senesac. Row number 9, it's all Brent Punkari, and he's got Josh Cottle right with him. Row number 10, Hayden Swank and Bailey Turner join the fray. Row 11, Jonathan Evans is going to have to head to the rear. It's all Ben Pierce in 65. Row 12, James Scioli and Ed Robertson. Robertson in 64. Row 13 has Ryan Swan and Brandon Bowie. Bowie was in the playoffs, was bumped after Nashville. Travis Beckner, Kwame Scott. Scott looking to go 3 in a row, starting back in the 28th position. And Connor Horn and David Weishart make up the field. Weishart to the rear. But in this case, he's already there. And these drivers will get ready to roll off across the stripe and work their way to the high banks at turns 1 and 2, 140 laps. Not really sure how the fuel and the tire wear will be, but the 20 degrees of banking have put on a heck of a show of times past. At 9 degrees of banking on the straights. Cookie cutter-esque racetrack, a lot of grass, that ball field making up the front stretch, but on the back, it's all a straight line full of speed. Toyota, Chevrolet make up the top 3. Another Toyota in the Fast Four, the next Ford in line. Gotta go all the way back to the 17th position. Always a fun time to head to Las Vegas. Someone's got to rip, someone's got to ride, and making a gamble on who's going to go where. Who do you think is going to go to victory lane? Let us know down in the comments below. For the NR Night in America viewers coming on in, no NR Night on Tuesday, considering Friday. And if it does happen to be Friday, we will put out a community post. Don't worry about that. To Connor Lines, happy birthday this Wednesday. If you're able to go ahead and celebrate, congratulations nonetheless. Here at NR, very happy to have you. We'll do one more pace lap, we'll roll back around, and once the field comes back around, we're going to be firing through the box and ready to go green. Nichols, Hall, Moose, Grant, that's the Fast Four. If you want to know where the Elite 8 drivers are at all times during this race, on the left side of your screen, they are highlighted in yellow. The drivers in yellow are the drivers competing for a championship. Everyone else with a white name tag are drivers that were competing in the regular season, either didn't make the playoffs or did make the playoffs and have been bumped out of the round of 12. Lights off on top of the pace car. As we get ready to go green, once again, very thankful for Central Mobile Homes, Inc. coming on board. Rick's Hot Sauce. You'll see them with Ryan Swan. Head over to rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try some of their greats like the garlic, the golden garlic, Palm Beach pineapple, or South Beach heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the standings. Some of those drivers already go into the rear. You see them lined up single file as everyone else prepares for 140 laps to be turned. Time to go green from Vegas. To everyone that dropped a like on the stream, very thankful for you. Helps us out on the algorithm, helps us grow area, helps us grow the community. And we can't wait to see what's next for everyone tuning on in. Pace car makes a hard left on a pit road and let's ride. Toyota leads down a pair of Chevrolets. Let's roll the dice and light the fuse from Las Vegas. First send into 1 and 2. Nichols and Hall on the inside lane. Has Patrick Moose on the outside in third. Downstairs, Justin Anasogak under fire from Adam Cabot in fifth. Noel, Groner, Polimis, Curhan, Grant, long way around the Moose. Not able to do it. Nichols leads lap 1. John Hall is sitting there. He sees the back end of the 73. Moose and Anasogak. They've looked to figure it out. Boston driver in the 7th position. Tyler Nichols, driver of the number 9. Jake Nichols has set sail, has opened the gap up, and continues to work his way back to turns 1 and 2. And Anasogak, the only driver currently navigating that second lane up inside the top 10. And then they fan out. Adam Cabot in 6. Goes up just a lane higher. Tyler Nichols in 7th. On about going underneath the fellow machine. Aiden Swig, Bryce Senesac, Max Service, and Blaze McKinney. This is the fighting for either just outside the top 20 or in the high teens. Four out of 140. Cabot in 17 outside of Garrett Grant. Sun behind the clouds. Grant will give position. And Cabot will move up a spot. And he needs to have a good day. Talked about how these playoffs work. If you don't have a good day at Vegas, you need to have a perfect day at Auto Club. Seth Knoll, you see him creeping in back to the 8th position. Riding in line with a fellow Solar Flare driver before jumping to the bottom. Nichols goes the long way. Nichols to the inside, lined up in the tire tracks of Garrett Grant. Noel going wide. Justin Anasogak, while we're watching those battles, has moved into 2nd. John Hall in 3rd. Adam Cabot in 4th. Noel topside. Moose there in 34. This is the part of the race we're starting to like, that multi-groove-esque racing. One end of the speedway working, the other one trying. At one point, it looked like it was just inside lane domination. Here's the fight for the 3rd position. Cabot on the inside at 17. John Hall on the outside in 03. Groner, Polimis. Polimis going the long way around inside Bailey Turner and Curhan. They start the conga line as single file. Justin Anasogak has been able to gain time on Jake Nichols. Look at the bottom of your screen. Was losing time, made up a great head of steam. Having to run where the other drivers are. That's what you have to do in the next gen, including since the update we just saw. Nichols a blink out of that 73 machine. Goes to the inside. Anasogak is going to try to draw even if he can. Oh, it's just about a 26 at the line. Are they going to give him it? Yes, they do. And great speed out of Anasogak. We go back to Cabot. Under John Hall. Hall not giving up or giving way to the 17 machine. Moose, Philip Groner. Groner to the bottom side of the racetrack. And I believe Garrett Grant has a great view of it. Never so slightly getting out of the gas. Nolan 6th. Closes in on Tyler Nichols. There's a long way, Philip Groner. "11 laps in a race we have. We're still watching Anna Sogak not allowing Nichols to get away. So it's going to put on some great running up here towards the front half of the field. Hendrick County Motorsports Park has racing coming soon. I believe there is actually a race update. On our side it says September 20th, but Jason Beckner let us know that, hey, Saturday night, August 30th, the Hendrick County Motorsports Park for the 2025 Sugar Slam Crash and Bash Demo Derby Enduro Race will be happening. Go to the southernmost dirt track and check that out. And if you can't go that day, guess what? September 20th, tickets are $20 for adults, and kids ages 5 and under are free. Bring the family to the track with the family pack of 4 at $25. Come see racing at the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off US Highway 27. Hendrick County Motorsports Park will be down there in South Florida. Actually, not South Florida, Central Florida, maybe South Florida, maybe North Florida. Who knows actually what part of Florida outside of Central I'll be, but the 30th, you say? I will be in Central Florida for sure, August 30th. May have to go ahead and check it out. Moose, Groner, Grant, Polimas, Bailey Turner, and Michael Curhan. I want to say thank you to drivers and viewers alike for coming on in and watching. Mikey, thank you for tuning in. Eric W., Cito Brown. Hall, Cabot, and Knoll. All top 5 lined up single file. 15 laps in the books. That's where we're currently holding sail at. A lot of things still left to run and still left to go. There's Anna Sogak, now half a second back. Has not been able to really gain much on time. Let's see if we can go ahead and get an update on what's been going on. Drivers moving in and out of contention of scenes. Look at Hall now choosing a longer way around to get the runoff exit. He was a 9-1 off turn 2. And gets well into the 8-7s, the 8-6s. And closes the gap to Anna Sogak. Sogak trying to air block. Get in exactly the tire tracks of John Hall. And Hall's been able to make up just too much time. So second and third are ready to worry about each other. Has allowed Jake Nichols to scoot away to nearly a 7/10 lead. Deeper in the field, Michael Curran. Bailey Turner. All right to work. Underneath already, Kwame Scott into 13th. We talked about his move from, 28th on back. Tied up with Bailey Turner's 25. Josh Cottle. Blaze McKinney. Trying something new, trying something different. There's Curhan closing in on Polimas. And underneath, Garrett Grant. That'll Blaze McKinney. Polimas to the outside. Kwame Scott. Then Turner. Turner again, long way around. Scott in 12th. No company, don't see it coming. And as Sogak just catching the fence. And Hall there in third is trying to figure out what to do. Patrick Moose in seventh. Oh, move to the inside. Seth Knoll tries to drift up the racetrack. Can Cabot get back on the throttle? He does. And Adam Cabot will hold on to fourth just when you thought Seth Knoll maybe was going to take it away. John Hall and Anna Sogak. What's that battle been like? Not going to happen. And Sogak doing a great job of defending. Knoll has been on the up and up. So let's look at these playoff drivers. Let's start with Seth Knoll. He comes in P1. He sits fifth currently on the racetrack. He is, I want to say, 15 points ahead of Jake Nichols, who is now leading this race. Nichols, second in the points coming in, is your race leader. You see him on track, just navigating and watching to see what he can run with. John Hall, he sits P3 in points. He sits P3 on the track. Just have to be in the final four. At the end of the day, a finish a third or better at Las Vegas puts him high on the charts for Auto Club. And then, where's next, you may say? James Scioli. Scioli, not a run he wants. He's back there in 20th. Comes into this event fourth in points. Now there is good news to this, right? You're running back in 20th and you say, yikes, the other three are all the way up there. Where's my next competitor? Well, that's Adam Cabot. Excuse me, let's rephrase that. It goes Scioli, and that's actually Connor Horn. So Horn sits fifth in points, and those two are running together, Horn being in the 19th position. We go to none other than Michael Curran. Curran has just cracked the top 10, but is under serious flack from that of Kwame Scott. Barrett Polimis is next on the scene that he would like to take the target out. And then Garrett Grant just in front of him. Then you do have Bailey Turner. Turner comes into this event P8 and is running in the 13th position. We didn't mention Adam Cabot. He is sixth in points. Cabot is sitting fourth on the racetrack. Turner, 13th on the track, 8th in points. Needs to have a solid day or will be in a must-win situation. So those are the playoff drivers, and that's how they run, working lap 27 of 140. Hunter Sluppy.
Nothing as far as reporting-wise, a lot of quietness over the radio. Kwame Scott did say that qualifying was the first and only lap that he's had on this newly configured update of Las Vegas. So making his way through the field nicely, though, sitting in 10th. And then Brent Bucari said that you're going to expect the right front to be worn down a lot more if you're running the bottom. So why we see some guys already migrating towards the top, just try to protect the right front tire pressure. Don't want to get it used up too much, but other than that, it's mostly quiet over the radios.
All right. All is good. Nichols, Cabot in the middle. To the bottom side goes Adam Cabot, 17. Patrick Moose, his 34 is there. Curhan, Kwame Scott, Philip Groner. Tyler Nichols, Moose, there's Cabot with the move. Inside of Seth Knoll. And will be the fight for the 4th position. Noel, the drive-off exit. Does work out for Noel. He's up the 4th. Cabot, Nichols, and Moose. We've been watching this battle. Six tenths, 7 tenths. That's the difference between the top two. It's 3 drivers under the gun. Ooh, Polimas nearly got towards the outside wall. Barrett Polimas topside. Tyler Nichols in the middle. Kwame Scott, how do you run it? And he is up to the 9th position from the 28th spot. What a flight for Scott. Cabot in 5th, Noel in 4th. John Hall, Justin Anasogak. Hall to the bottom. And there's Jake Nichols. Cabot down on the bottom. Patrick Moose on the outside in 6th. Kwame Scott has Polimas. Going one way, going the other. And then Michael Curran. Tyler Nichols. Groner and Turner. But Noel has been the one on the move. He's up to 3rd. Less than a second and a half the difference from the race leader. Under a second from John Hall. And we're already closing on the point where it's only going to be about 100 laps to go, give or take. Caution free up to this moment if you're just tuning on in. Senesac and company. Sogak in 4th. Cabot and Moose. John Hall, P2. On the bottom, Moose in the middle. Cabot 3 wide outside. Long way around. Moose to the middle. Scott on the inside of the 34, not able to make a run. .101 laps remaining. And all still chasing the Jake Nichols machine. Cabot Polimas. Looking one way, searching for the other. Let's look at the lap for lap. Here's John Hall, has been able to make up ground ever so slightly now on Jake Nichols. Seth Knoll has also been able to close the gap at least to the race leader. So the tide's turning for the drivers sitting second and third. A 40-lap long green flag run. You expect drivers to be coming to pit road within the next 20 laps, give or take. Which would open the door, actually, for this to be a two-stop race if it goes green. Checking in. Seeing what's changing. And things all going on. Hunter Sleppy, an update.
Some guys are making pit stops this early. I heard Connor Moore was making the stop down pit road. And then most guys just complain about dirty air over the radio. Can't pass too much, can't do too much to get into other guys' way. Kwame Scott's still quiet over the radio, but still making progress on the track. And Sogek and John Hall had a little bit of a run-in, but it wasn't that major. Other than that, everything else is calm and cool and collected.
So what are we expecting? One stop, two stop, three stop, or how's this going to go?
I think for most, from the drivers I've talked to, the most that we'll see is a two-stop.
All right, good to know. Two-stop strategies as possibly projected earlier, now confirmed. And it's Sogak in fourth, Moose in fifth. As Shrine closing into the back bumper, Kwame Scott to the inside. Moose going the long way around, Barrett Polimas joining in. And you can tell it's hard to pass, because that's why they're all searching. They're searching for one end of the speedway versus the other. Dumping dirty air on the nose has been tough. For a lot of these drivers. And Sogak, Seth Knoll. Remember, Knoll got into that third position. For others started trying things. Adam Cabot, playoff driver, he's on pit road. Philip Groner. In the 10th position, James Scioli. Bryce Senesac. Bailey Turner. What to do, what to do. Berger in 16th, McKinney in 17th. John Hall is 3/10 back and has closed the gap. It's soon to be the top four under a full second. I almost want to say top five. Look at Kwame Scott. 28th to 5th. Can he do it? Continue the sweep of the playoffs. Scott to the inside. Knoll to the outside. And let's say off chance, right, this race goes green. Could Kwame Scott go from 28th to 1st in a caution-free race? I mean, you have to consider it. He's now 9/10 of the race leader. And John Hall is less than 20 to that of Nichols. And a Sogak P5. Look at the push from Seth Knoll. Gerhan, Polimas, Tyler Nichols, James Scioli. Moose to the outside, Hall to the bottom. Scott and Asogak and Knoll. And on pit road, John Hall made up the time to Nichols and said now it's time to adjust. Patrick Moose is on the scene to Jake Nichols. What can he do? Believers to pit road, you saw it in the background. And lead change in view. Patrick Moose inside, gets the left side to the white line. Kwame Scott in third. Moose on the bottom, Scott in the middle, down goes Nichols, to the top goes the 34. Here comes Scott, inside of the 73. Scott gets one, now he wants the race lead. In the middle of green flag cycles. If you're Nichols, now you'd expect to pit now. Is he going to do so? No, he's not. Let's see it from Scott. Michael Curran in fifth during these cycles. These are the drivers that have yet to pit. Cabot and Horn already one lap down, 19th and 20th. Yes, they did come to pit road. And then there's John Hall. That's 22nd, one lap down. But the two drivers sitting 19th and 20th did pit a lot earlier. Kwame Scott, Patrick Moose. Scott gets into the fence. And heavy damage to the right side of his 36. That's not, it doesn't look bad per se, but you know it's a hard lick. Half a second, Patrick Moose can scoot away. Curhan and Asogak. Seth Knoll, James Scioli. Moose leading. And Jake Nichols holds on to P3. 83 laps to go from Las Vegas. Scioli in 6th, Nolan 7th. Tyler Nichols holds on to 8th. And there's Michael Curran jumping out of the gun to the bottom side of the racetrack. And Asogak comes to pit road. Curhan in his wall. Moose and Scott, race leaders. .81 to go. Moose versus Scott. Nichols versus Scioli. Groner and Bowie. There's the lap traffic. All kind of coming in the way. There's Groner, top side Cabot, fresher tires. Somehow after hitting the wall, Scott has been able to make up a little bit of time. He was about half a second back. He's now 4.5. Speed difference. Instead of running a 29.6, they're running a 39. In some cases, a 31.1. So fall off there has been. Nichols is in. Jake Nichols, Tyler Nichols, Lee Norton, Philip Groner. Then Pierce, is he in? Groner's in, right sides. Let's throw it downstairs to Hunter Slumpy for updates on pit stops.
There are still some guys who have yet to pit that are trying to do a one-stop, saving fuel. Others, like Travis Beckner, claim that he feels like he has negative camber in his car just because he's not a fan of the way it's handling right now. And some guys are noticing that tire wear, not too big of a fall-off, so might see just fuel only or just 2 tires on some of these stops.
All right. And how about that? Moose, Service, Scioli, and Scott. Oh, how about this one? Scioli and Cabot. Cabot trying to get back on the lead lap. We did see Kwame Scott now take the lead. As that of Patrick Moose came to pit road, 77 to go. Scioli, he's in. 1 stop versus 2 stop. Pierce, Swank. Oh, they look like they're just about to run out of gas. And saving they are. All right. Welcome to Vegas. It's time to gamble. Scioli's still in. Let's listen to Kwame Scott. He's coming to pit road. How do you fix that right side damage? I don't know if they're going to have enough to make it to the end on a one-stop strategy. There's Hall, there's Polimas, there's Connor Horn, unless they plan on saving right from the gun for the second stint. And this is the time where you're like, hey, I kind of want to see this race go green the rest of the way. Look at all these strategies. Ben Pierce, the leader. And to everyone that's dropped a like in this stream, very grateful for that. Helps us grow this community. We might be streaming this coming up Friday. Keep that all in mind. Jonathan Evans, John Hall, and others all separated. Ben Pierce has yet to come to pit road. It is 74 to go. Just hear them out of the throttle. Allows us to highlight drivers like Travis Beckner and Blaze McKinney. Connor Horn. Remember him being a lap down? He now sits 6th. The only thing is, it is behind that of John Hall. Adam Cabot is ahead of the John Hall machine. 3rd and 4th, and Jonathan Evans did pit roughly before Cabot and Hall. So provisional race leader, do we give it to Pierce, Evans, Cabot, or Hall? It's kind of the tough one to expect and question. I would say provisional race leader in this case would be Adam Cabot. Ben Pierce, he's in pit road. Beckner and company, there's Blaze McKinney. 72 laps to go. And a caution-free race up to this point. And this is the best way this race is going to go, right? You keep it caution-free. You let these strategies play out. We're going to be leaving with an interesting championship bubble. Evans is in. Cabot from provisional race lead to the race lead. And John Hull is in second. All right. Swink in 24th. Dropping it as well. Seth Knoll back to 10th. Justin Anasogak in 11th. Josh Cottle. Patrick Moose. And then there's Josh Connell in the 13 machine. 14th he is. Kwame Scott, where did he cycle out? He cycles out in the 15th spot. He's back fighting with drivers that we saw maybe about 20 minutes ago. But watch how quickly he's going to be able to move through this pack. Jake Nichols back to 16th. Just about 8 seconds back. Remember, Nichols was leading a huge chunk of this race before the strategy call just did not work out in the favor. 3/10 for John Hull and Adam Cabot. Horn, Garrett Grant, Gurhan. 4/10 the difference. .38, 3.7. Down to a 3.6. Grant in 5th, Michael Curhan in 6th. Noel and McKinney. And there's Kwame Scott, top side ripping. What he's been able to do to make up time. Travis Beckner. And Moose there in the 12th position. Time is ticking here from Las Vegas. The strategies, the opportunities, the shuffling of the playoff deck. There's Noel. And there's Connor Horn. John Hall, 7 difference. Losing time to Cabot, but knowing the way to victory lane is going to come down to strategy. Garrett Grant, Connor Horn, 5th and 6th. McKinney and Scott. Seth Knoll to the outside, lined up with Horn. Scott in the middle. Jumps to the inside. Horn on the outside. Single file. 61 to go. This is the top two. Let's see, not a single driver out of this race. Weishart is 1 lap down. Groner on the lead lap. 29 drivers left racing on the lead lap. And a textbook race it has been up to this point. Curran, welcome to fourth. Finds his way around Grant. But Seth Knoll and Kwame Scott have quickly moved through as Grant jams the right side into the wall. Nolan Scott. And it will be 60, now 59 to go. Where's Moose? There he is. Moose with the move. And it's Sogak and Horn. McKinney and Senesac. McKinney is on the move. Underneath Horn, toe-to-toe, Senesac in 09. John Hall, 4/10. Gavin the race leader. Scott P5, Curhan P4, Polimas P3. And with 56 laps to go, the top two separated by 3/10. "55 laps to go from Las Vegas." And just look at the left side of the board, continue to change with drivers passing and shuffling. Connor Horn, Jake Nichols, heads up. Connell and Senesac ahead of the 67 and 73. Two by two, nearly 3 wide. And Hall is about 5/10, nearly half a second the difference. Eric Grant, Blaze McKinney, Senesac, Scioli. Brandon Bowie, Tyler Nichols. Moving one way or the other. .52 to go. Curhan to Polimas, the fight for third. Back bumper. Gets to him. Carhan in the middle. Polimas is there. Kwame Scott in 5th. Patrick Moose, Garrett Grant, 7th and 8th. And a Sogak plays McKinney. There's McKinney with Scioli, and look at this mess. Bowie, Cottle, Nichols, Turner. All jammed up the turns 3 and 4. .49 to go. Carhan nearly 3 seconds back. There's Kwame Scott sitting in 5th. Nearly 3 seconds the difference between the top 3. Polimas in 4th, Carhan in 3rd. Now 47 to go, you're starting to see the speed of Hall taper off. Seth Nolan 6th. Company and Moose. Scott still dead ahead. Out front, it seems a lot less crowded, right? It seems a lot less hard on the throttle. Well, everyone else is trying something different, trying a different move. Dropping Garrett Grant. He's on pit road with 45 to go. Remember, some drivers are not going to do the 2-stop. They're going to just attempt the 1. Or at least that's what they said about 20 laps ago. Ryan Swan in his 20, top side of the racetrack. Cabot underneath. Does Hall make up the time? 1 win for John Hall this year. From Homestead Miami Speedway. Is it a roll of the dice in Vegas? No one way, thought about the other. Tapers off. Just gets to pit road. Because John Hall is in as well. Cabot is in. Is this the strategy that wins the race? Eric W. sending a gifted membership. Trouble! Barrett Polimis goes around off the exit of turn 2. It will bring the caution out and change the strategy of the event. Oh man, oh man. And what does this mean for the drivers at pit? I mean, they were the leaders. Here's Curhan. He is in turn 2. Kwame Scott. James Scioli. Where is John Hall going to cycle out as 15th? Barrett Polimis. Got help from Patrick Moose. And around he went. It was pretty slow on the inside. I think he was trying to save gas. What this means for the rest of this event. What this means for everyone else racing. I said Moose, correction. It was Kwame Scott that got in to Polimis, and then Moose got into the 79 with a slide down the backstretch. Pit road is open. Hall stays out. Knoll stays out. Nichols stays out. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's chat with some drivers. Cabot, I believe, was among some of the drivers that came to pit road. Cabot, John Ramos, how does this affect the strategy?
It ruins it. Man, that just ruined everything that we had going there. That the timing of that, absolutely awful. Gonna have to just try to reset here and start from the back at the wave and try to work my way back through. But
were you trapped a lap down?
Yep, I got trapped a lap down. The guys that pit with me and took 2 got out just ahead of the pace car, so I probably missed getting out in front of the pace car by like a second or 2. So yeah, that is super unfortunate. It's gonna be really hard to work my way back up through the pack, but that's how it goes sometimes. So we'll just lock in and see what we can do here.
All right. And that is Adam Cabot. There was 6:09. 40 laps to go. He took 4 instead of 2. What this means for his championship title. So Hall will restart on the bottom. Top side will be Seth Knoll. And now we get ready for the first restart of the event. Nearly 100 laps went green. And the lights will come off next time by. That's where we'll get the one to go. Hall and Knoll lined up and ready to race. I think they're trying to sort where everyone is. Hunter Sleppy, what are they saying?
I was just talking strategy with Kwame Scott and the team. They were talking about how track position is going to be very viable now, and that you can manage your tires properly depending on this stint going green to the end. You manage your tires properly, you get yourself in the right place at the right time, then you can find yourself all the way up front. I say that because he is down in 7th, so he'll have a little work to do trying to work his way through the field, but caution's always breed caution, so we do have to be cautious about that.
All right. We have lights off on top of the pace car. And we get ready to go again, Chevy and Toyota. Las Vegas. A sprint to the finish. And that one caution changes the trajectory and an opportunity for some. Here we go. John Hall, Seth Knoll, Patrick Moose, Jake Nichols come to the restart zone to try it again in Vegas. Knoll in third. Kwame Scott in sixth. Nichols bounces off the wall. Turner onto the flat. Top end, Brandon Bowie. And John Hall is able to scoot away. Nichols in fourth. Patrick Moose. What can he do? Winless all year. Jumps back to the third position. Scott's forced to switch to the top side of the track. And with 35 laps to go, it's John Hall by half a second over Seth Knoll. A chance to race into the championship 4. 34 to go. Nichols P5. Oh, one on the wall. Josh Cottle pounds it hard and drops back to 26. Will not be able to make it to pit road, but that's a lot of damage. Now he does. And can Knoll make up the ground necessary to have John Hall be beat? Nichols P5. Inputs bomb your screen. Four tenths. The difference between first and second, then there's Patrick Moose in third. Caution. As for Ben Pierce, him and Jonathan Evans get together, and we're going to have a restart under 30 laps to go. One car out of the race. It is David Weishart. Josh Connell 3 laps down on pit road. And we'll get ready to try it again. Let's see what happens. Here's Pierce running backside with Beckner. Norton. Oh, the embankment. Oh, man. And you saw how that just all went down. Nowhere for Pierce to go. Caution out, second time today. Pit road is wide open, and the front runners electing not to pit. Hunter Sleppy has been hanging out with Solar Flare. Reason why some of these guys aren't pitting.
They haven't talked much about strategy, but Tyler Nichols is upset with Josh Cottle. Can't say what he said, but he is just not happy with him.
All right. Well, what do you think about all this going down?
Honestly, cautions breed cautions. Track position very key. Unless you're like 15th on back, maybe. I think Hunter Horn just pitted, Skyoli as well. Like, you gotta do something to put yourself in a better spot for next week, because at that point, with the way your race is going, it's going to be do or die. So just try to limitate the damages as much as you can. And then if you're up front, just hope and pray for the best that the guy in front of you doesn't go and you can take it 3 wide and pass him.
Indeed. All right. 28 to go this time. We're coming down to the final laps, or the final segment, should we say, of this event. Hunter Sleppy continuing to give us the great updates there. We're in the live chat. I want to say hello to Jeremy Miller, Jason Beckner, Cito Brown, as we get ready to see what they're able to do once more. Time to ride. Chevy and Toyota. Top 2 in this race are in the postseason. Do they continue this stride? With 27 laps to go from Vegas. Toyota, Chevrolet, back green. John Hall pulls away. Noel under fire from Scott trying to get in line. Patrick Moose to second. Moose second lane trying to get out of the draft. Out of all the turbulent air. As 3 wide deeper in the field, you saw McGran, and there goes one. Around and into the outside wall. That may have been Ryan Swan. The caution will come out again. Garrett Grant. Soyak And just drifted up the track. Hall, Moose, Scott, Knoll, that will be the top 4. And we will have another restart. And things just keep on marching. They keep on going. They keep on thriving. But man, oh man, is that something you did not want to see? 25 to go. Another caution. Sleppy, what are they saying?
Seth was about to talk to me, but talked with Garrett Grant. He said he doesn't know what happened, just Blaze doing stupid stuff in the back, and was actually talking with Justin, and Sogak said, I don't know, it was 3 wide and stuff happened, and I'm not sure what Seth was going to say, but listen to Lucky Ducks with Curhan, Garrett Grant, who's in there with Payne Swank, talking about whether they wanted pit or not, and they said that they're okay. Garrett said he's probably off there staying out. It's terrible back here, and that they don't think that much of a difference in tire wear is going to be enough to make them want to come down the pit.
All right. Now 24 to go. We'll get ready to try this all again. An interesting race up to this moment. An interesting race it still is. Can anyone get John Hall? Bailey Turner, Michael Curhan. The 1 to go signal. And everyone waits around because it's a 22 lap dash to the finish. Well, this is what you all came for. A fight for the finish. Kwame Scott can go 3 in a row in the playoffs. John Hall can lock himself in the championship, and Patrick Moose can continue the trend of non-playoff drivers winning playoff races. Time to ride. .23 to go. Something's got to give. Hall, Moose, Nolan, Scott, Bowie, Nichols, Curran, and Turner. Scott into Nichols. Nichols to the outside, Scott to the bottom. Knoll, dead heat, there with Moose on the outside. All behind John Hall's 03. A lot of them just searching for grit, searching for speed. Turner in 7th, Curhan in 8th. Scott in 3rd, trying to get up in front of the machine on the outside. That's Moose. 20 to go. 3/10 the difference for Seth Nolan and John Hall. Can he close the gap? Cabot, Swank, Polimas in the wall. Sinisek sideways in the grass. The cluster of machines continuing the fight. This is outside the top 10. Scioli is in the wall. Caution will wave. Philip Groner goes around as well. How this all went. I mean, it seemed to be one issue after another. Couldn't get all over, or couldn't get off each other. Oh, McKinney drove it in there. Got Scioli, which then got Norton. And around they went. Watch again. Watch McKinney in 87. Deep to the inside. Just about swiped up into Scioli. So the caution waves once more. We'll hear from Hunter Sleppy. Sleppy, caution's coming out of nowhere. Sleppy, you got a copy.
Hi, sorry, my cat was going crazy there, so I don't have any information for you.
Okay, caution's coming out. Did you hear anything from Solar Flare at all?
I was just about to hop down in there. My cat started going crazy. I'll get some info for you in just a...
And I think he did leave before he could go ahead and finish that sentence. Nonetheless, he will get the information we do need. Hall, Knoll, Moose, Nichols. That sits the top four.
All right, I just got back from Solar Flare. They are in unison that Blaze McKinney is the sole reason for the accident, and they are not a fan of him at the moment. And yeah, that's about it.
All right. We got 16 to go. He'll be restarting with 15. And every time we get closer to that checkered flag, things may just get a little more intense, troublesome. Only time could tell. Will be 16 to go this time by. Once again, we are restarting with 15 laps to go. The lights are off on top of the pace car. Let's get ready to ride. Let's ride. Time to go green. Chevy and Toyota, 15 laps to go from Vegas. Nichols and Moose. Moose in third, Bailey Turner on the bottom. Brandon Bowie doing what he can. Caution is out again. And this time it's Kwame Scott, Brett Punkari will rack him once more. You see the damage on the nose of the 36. How did it all happen? Scott, Senesac. Oh, and got Norton 64. So it started actually just before that. Let's watch the restart. In line with Beckner. Incident yet again. And now we're down to 13. Swank and others. We'll watch and wait. Let's get a word with Kwame Scott. Scott, John Ramos, what happened? Kwame Scott, John Ramos.
I swear, yeah, hey, what's up, John? Man, I swear 3 different cars tried to just targeted me in the same corner because I got slid, and then at the same time I had to lift from getting slid by whoever that was, and then someone just came and cleaned me out from underneath. So I don't know, but that's what happens when it was a risky strategy. I just wanted to be on something different than the guys up front, and I knew being back there was a risk. So that's just what happens.
3 races in a row for you. You got 2 of them. I'm guessing it's over for Vegas.
Yeah, and I'm going a lap down as we speak, so yeah, it's looking like it, but it was fun while it lasted.
Will you be back for Auto Club?
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Right.
Maybe I can go 3 for 4 then.
There you go. Hey, batting average still high enough to make the Hall of Fame.
Can't complain about that, right?
Can't complain. All right, good luck from here on out. Congratulations on your success so far. That is Kwame Scott, and looking to possibly be out of this race. Lights off on top of the pace car. We'll get ready to go racing once more. Time to ride. Sticks on the board, 11 to go from Las Vegas. John Hall, Seth Knoll, Patrick Moose, and Bailey Turner. Nichols gone in line in third. Knoll back and forth. Mostly 2x2. Three wide off turn 4. That's where we've seen it be a troublesome area for multiple drivers closing in the latter half of this race. Moose by 2/10. Or should I say Hall by 2/10? Moose needing to make up 2. Nichols needing to make up 4. Swank in 6th, Turner in 5th. Cabot, 1 sideways. Nichols hits the inside wall. No caution just yet. It's off the racing surface. Now there's a caution. And it is for Tyler Nichols. And John Hall was looking to cruise to victory. Let's check back. Now they just got up and into the outside wall. And then pow. Catches the barrier. Tyler Nichols, maybe a different view. Kenny went to go block outside. Oh man, that is a huge form of netcode. Nichols didn't even make contact with him. 7 to go. John Hall and Moose, top 2. Nichols, Knoll, top 4. Man, how different this race has been from the start to the finish. From the first half really to the second half. Jake Nichols is hanging out in 3rd. Let's chat. Nichols, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
What are you going to have to do to win this race?
Get a good restart and hope everything just works out. I got a good restart last time, so probably the best one I'll have all race, but you know, just need some luck on my side here, I think, for the last few laps.
All right. Well, these cautions have been coming out kind of beautifully for you.
Yeah, a little bit. It was like gain a spot, 1 restart, lose a spot, and just keep rotating, but that time I nailed it. I just hit it perfect and passed 2 cars, including my teammate there, and hopefully it puts us in a good spot. I don't know if the 03 is going to take the top or the bottom. I think he's going to take the top for his teammate to be on the bottom here, which is typically better in turn 1 and 2 on the restart. But either way, we're just trying to get points. It's going to be hard to really make passes here for the win, but overall we're just trying to stay up here and get a good night.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
And that is Jake Nichols. Seth Knoll, Nichols, that is 3rd and 4th. Swank, Turner, Bowie, Cabot, Grant, and Horn. That will be the top 10. Evans and Groner, top 12. Senesac, Beckner. And with 6 to go. Let's get ready to roll. Chevy on Chevy. A 5-lap dash to the finish. Hayden Swank, Bailey Turner. Base car, the hard left on the pit road. 5 remaining in Las Vegas. Oh, Moose spun the tires. And Turner takes it 3 wide on the apron. Brandon Bowie trying to sneak through the middle of Hayden Swank. Cabot on the outside, Bowie in the middle. Knowles up the second and time's running out. Moose and Turner. Evans and Grant, right sides being impacted. Here's Seth Knoll, top end of the speedway. Couple machines to the outside wall. Connor Horn, Bear Polimis, 3 to go. See Jake Nichols able to sneak his way through. Tied up goes Anna Sogak, around down the backstretch. Is it enough for a caution? Yes, it is. Back half of the field just couldn't get it together. And it will bring us to overtime. Let's watch a replay. Four wide and it's Sogak, Polimis. Yeah, they weren't giving each other much room. Caution is out once again. First half of the race, no caution. Second half, multiple. And it will line us up for a 2-lap dash and overtime finish of John Hall, Noel Nichols. Of the 8 drivers currently in the playoffs, 6 are in the top 20. Kurhan, Scioli, the ones outside. Kurhan 22nd, Scioli 25th. We'll get ready to see what they can do. Seth Knoll, his Toyota. Comes into this series with high expectations. We'll see how it rides. Lights off will be this time by. And we're ready to go back green. Chevy and Toyota. Chevy and Toyota row 2. Time to go green. versus Hall, Moose versus Nichols. Do you punch your ticket to the Championship 4? Let's find out. Overtime, attempt number 1. John Hall inside, outside, searching. Has stolen the tire tracks. Back to the bottom side of the racetrack. We'll see the white flag this time by Salamanca. 1 to go in Vegas. And Knowles trying to track him down. Patrick Moose in third. Oh, gets something into the outside wall. Spinning in the back. Polimas and others. Never mind. This race is official. John Hall entered in as a rookie to start the 2025 season. He's in the Championship 4. Welcome, John Hall, to the championship round in Charlotte. Noel, Nichols, Cabot, Turner, top 5 all playoff drivers. And that's how it all ends. Enter Night in America, League Night in America. Feeling victories all year long. And oh man, what a treat it is for Hall. This celebration fueled by Victory Fuel. Celebrate tonight's win with Victory Fuel. Choose from caffeine-free flavors like Throttle Punch, Purple Potion, or Lucky Lemon. Each can is packed with electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Get 10% off your order with code AREA iRacing at checkout. Let's go talk to your race winner. John Hall, win number 2, gets you the distance.
Oh my God, thank God we're at Charlotte. I can't believe it. Good Lord Almighty, I was fighting my freaking nails there at the end. That was, every caution that came out, I was like, oh, come on guys, can we please just go green to the end here and let it run away? We had to bring it down to the wire, but oh my God. Oh, we're in the championship 4, I'm stoked.
Stoked indeed. Well, strategy, first half of the race, second half, barn burner. How'd you keep him behind you?
Oh God, it was really came down to the pit call earlier in the race. It was, you plateaued there pretty hard there in the middle of the run, so I just wanted to get on fresh tires first, and Adam was keeping me honest there. I could not get by him once we got back up there and we were first and second, and the 2-tire call there on the pit stop, and luckily the caution came at like the exact perfect time for me to cycle out as the leader, and got super lucky there with cycling out to the front. And once you kind of get clean air here and keep everybody behind you, it's almost impossible to pass a leader on a short run like that. So it was just managing the restarts correctly and trying to play the lanes right and make sure nobody got a huge run down the back, and kind of what sealed the deal. Thank God.
Heck yeah, congratulations on your win. What do you want to say to these viewers?
Thank you guys for supporting the Area Cup Series for this whole year. It's been a blast racing in it, and I'm sure you guys have been having a great time watching it. We've been putting on some great races, I think, over the past few weeks and over the whole season. So thank you guys so much. Looking forward to racing in Charlotte.
Congratulations. John Hall.
Thank you, sir.
a championship driver. It's like the driver that just came runner-up. Seth Knoll still looks good heading to Auto Club, but I think he would love to get it done here.
Yeah, I would have liked to have won, but it's just so hard to pass the leader. Like me, Pat, Kwame, and Jake were all just swapping second through fourth there the whole time. You just can't do anything with the leader because of the clean air. But good points day. Head into next week in a almost locked in position anyway, and try and get all our teammates in Charlotte.
All right, head into Auto Club, teammates in Charlotte. What can you guys look forward to in 2 weeks?
I mean, as far as I know, it's going to be an incredible race. Like we all saw Auto Club a couple years ago with the next gen. I would expect something similar. So I think this is going to be race of the year potential, even with the dirty air and everything new about this car. Just got to get that one spot better for elite performance and draft a car. Try and seal it in Charlotte.
All right, good luck. Seth Knoll, P2. And we come to Jake Nichols, what it would be. Nichols, P3. Look very promising very early for you guys.
Yeah, kind of burned up the right front a little too much the first run, but we had a plan in place in regards to strategy that I think we would have undercut back ahead of some guys over the long run, but obviously we didn't get to that point with a caution coming out right as the cycle was really starting earlier in the race, and then after that it's just like we were talking about, just restarts where it's just gain one, lose one, gain one, lose one over and over. But overall the Elite Entertainment Toyota was fast. We got a really good points night with pole and leading the most laps and leading a lap and even clean race with 0 incident points, so that puts us in a really good spot in our 73 car for next week. I think pretty much as long as I just don't crash, we should be relatively safe for making the final four, but you never know. Anything can happen in racing. We've seen the weirdest of things out there, so we'll still go in and try to win a race. If not, maybe help James, since sadly he got wrecked and put himself pretty much in a must-win for next week. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see what we can do, and hopefully one of us can get a dub before the final four.
All right. Fun to see. Congratulations, P3.
Thank you.
That is Jake Nichols. Let's go through the lineup before we go ahead and say goodnight. Reading the live chat, thank you guys so much for all the great words and encouragement as well, and how fun this race was for the drivers and the whole broadcast crew. John Hall, win number 2 of the season, punches his ticket to the championship 4. Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, Adam Cabot, Bailey Turner, Patrick Moose, Garrett Grant, Hayden Swank, Blaze McKinney with Brandon Bowie, ending as the top 10. Max Service, Travis Beckner, Kwame Scott with Justin Anasogak, Michael Curhan being the top 15. Connor Horn, Seth Berger, and Tyler Nichols with Jonathan Evans and Barrett Polimis as the top 20. Brett Bunkari, Bryce Senesac, Philip Groner, Ed Robertson, and James Scioli, top 25. Ben Pierce, Lee Norton, Ryan Swan, Josh Connell, and David Weishart rounding out the field. We'll see if we can get an update here on points. And what it looks like after Las Vegas, Seth Knoll is still your championship leader. And by that I mean they have yet to update the points. So no update just yet on the points. We'll continue to figure out when they will go ahead and do so. So that is how it rolls. But we know for sure John Hall is heading to the championship 4. We'll see you in 2 weeks at Auto Club Speedway. I'm John Ramos, the voice of NR, saying so long, as Area Cup Series has had one heck of a show and just 2 races remain.